The zone, the goal line.
Yeah,
There we go, folks. Now we've got video.
Helter Scouts are there for a minute, folks. You just missed Fraser Tech trying to run out from behind their own line after Milner taking a good option, like Cam just alluded to. But we'll see Hautapu in a good position now with the first scrum. And they look to set just across to the right-hand touch line, about 4 metres inside Fraser Tech's line. You can see, Cam, the back line's pretty flat and
Sorry guys, I'm the person doing the camera and I just don't have the laptop in front of me. Thank you to those that have tried pointing it out. Other people have come up and told us, so I do appreciate and apologies that at least we had the audio.
And back at the game now, Ngatai's with the ball and he's going to look to feed this scrum. It's a flat line here from Hautapu, so they won't be looking to go too expansive. Players keep it close together in these conditions. As we'll look to reset, and looks like referee Michael Winters is going to have a little chat to the boys and perhaps move them off that spot. And Cam, these early signs there of the ground just starting to break up.
It's not surprising, is it? It's going to be rough in those scrums.
It's a matter of number of resets here today, isn't it?
Yeah. I think the boys will be going away from the cleats to their 24mm sprigs. Takes me back to a few frosty mornings, maybe in 1982. Again, we look to set the scrum, and it's a good opportunity here for Hautapu. There's a little bit of a hush behind us as we wait to see the ball fed, and the ball's with Ngatai now. And the scrum collapses, but he lets it go. No, there'll be a penalty. And he's talked to the boys, and it's a little bit tough in the conditions, but Hautapu with a chance now. Milne with the ball, but he'll be looking directly into the barrel of the wind. He has a chat with his captain.
It's a hard thing there as a referee. I mean, do you keep going back to the resets or do you penalise that player for putting his knee on the ground? And that's what Michael Winter did there against Fraser Tech. So, pretty cool.
I'll put money on here that there's going to be a strong line-out move, which they've done well all season long.
Yeah, well, Jeff Croat's had a couple of good throws already, so he'll be looking to find some dry hands in the middle there through either McFinal or Thompson. I noticed Florence took a good one off the top early, and he's right at that number 2 spot as he goes, and it is Florence, and he's off the top at the front, and they look to take it in, and it's sitting at the back now, and it's controlled now by Hautapu, and Hautapu just having a muscle around. Sits at the back, and you can hear Ngatai getting in there, and it's a wonderful try. And confirmation, folks, I think Jeff Coates come up with the try, so after a great throw by Jeff Coates into the line out, Florence quick off the top, coming down, they formed a great maul, and Jeff Coates wrapped around the back again and just managed to draw the boys in and just take those good steps in that wet weather. Kick to come. And with 11 minutes gone, Hautapu are in the lead now, 5 points to 3. So it's going to be a tough kick here for Milne. He's going to be kicking directly into the wind.
We are going to see those line-out moves, I'd say, on a lot of occasions here today with these conditions. From both sides, I mean, both have a very, very strong forward back. Both be looking to use that to their advantage. It's a tough kick here into the wind for Milne.
Made good contact. And it looks like the wind might have just drawn it around to the right-hand side. And that could be a tough one today in these winds. The conditions are definitely going to be favourable to the side coming from the left-hand side. Receive at the ball. And it's a stabbing little kick. And it's taken away. And they look to kick straight away. The bananas around and bounces one down to touch with one running out on the list.
So.
Even I was having trouble trying to find that ball.
But straight away, Hautapu happy to go to the line out. Balls with Tongia. a little bit scrappy there. We'll come back to the scrum. And Cam, we're seeing just how tough it is out there today. I think the skills and handling are really going to be the test on the players today. I think the talk of training would have been those nice close passes and look after your mate.
Yeah, we have seen from Hautapu earlier on, just doing those run off the rucks. So there's not having to actually be any passes in play when you're doing those sort of little runs, draw some defence in, then spin it wide. But you're exactly right, ball handling is going to be a big factor here today.
Yeah, one thing I'm noticing out here already is the communication between the Hautapu 9, 10 and the wing. It's going to be important today, communication. As they talk to each other, and it sits with Ngātai's now as he looks to defeat the scrum. And the scrum seems relatively stable as he talks to his number 8 of Florence goes off the back. And they go out through the right hand side, and they're just happy to drive through the centres at the moment, and it seems to be working for them as they come back to the short side, and it's a good little run here down the short side, and he just puts it on the toe. He's happy for going to the other side, picked up nicely by the long end. Number 12, he has a good run. He gets out of the first one and just gets over halfway. He sits at the back now. And now happy to drive through the forwards there as McCurran has a good run into the middle of the field. And again with the slippery conditions there as he runs through. It's picked up and tidied up by Hautapu. And they have a chance. So Thomason in the middle, and it's a good run from Thomason. He's picked up though nicely, covered in tackle. And it's a quick ball as they go wide, but Milne just wasn't up to the task. It's hit his shoulder and gone back. Hautapu have cleaned up nicely here though, but it looks like there's a turnover. The ball sits at the back of that left foot of Christie, driving behind the fullback as Hongia can do nothing but watch it go into the touchline now. The ball just manages to stay in. And it looks like it'll be cleaned up at the back as they drive for touch. And he hasn't found touch. Fraser Tech looking to use the ball on the foot. Great try, and that is good vision from the Fraser Tech players. There's a lot of space out there behind the back line, and that's a fantastic kick, folks. As we see a good try, it's a little bit against the run of play, but it's a clever run. And it looks like number 14, Coombs failing. He's come from the other side of the wing, right over to the other side behind Bunce.
After a bit of clumsy play there from both teams, obviously with these conditions, it's almost like they're playing with a bar of soap out there for a little bit. The ball was slipping out in and out of the hands.
Well, I hate to say it, but it could be the team that makes the least amount of mistakes today.
In conditions like that, Shoston, very much so. I wouldn't call that a 14-point try, but it's at least 10.
It was certainly against the runner play. I loved it, and you heard the crowd go up behind us. They really enjoyed that try, and well done to the Fraser Tech team to really turn that around. And the ball's back with Chris Dance. He uses his educated left foot. And he's in a much better position here as far as the footing goes. 26 minutes gone. Fraser Tech in first. 10 points to 5. Fraser Tech in the lead. And that's a good try. They'll be happy with that. And there'll be some smiling faces out there on the Tech boys right now. And Hautapu just marching back to the halfway, and I think Dyer will be happy with his performance so far, and the lads in the front.
It seems like that rain has stopped, but I tell you what, guys, there's a little bit of sketchy rain actually now that I look over on the other side. But it's not that cold, not that warm either though, is it?
No, it's pretty sleety out there. The wind certainly hasn't gone anywhere as they look to kick off, and it spirals in an awkward sort of fashion as it almost comes back to halfway, and it's a little bit comical here as we'll go to...
It was hovering there for a bit, wasn't it?
Yeah. I tell you what though, guys, all that ball has to do is go the 10 metres. If it goes the 10 metres and blows back, play on.
Yeah, well, if it crosses that mark.
Yeah, as long as it crosses that 10 metre line.
I don't think that quite crossed the 10 metre line, but I mean...
No, it's a few metres short.
It's a good looking kick though.
Very interesting looking kick, but I would say I won't be happy with that. And I think you'll be looking for that 3-iron instead of the pitching wedge in the next couple there, Cam.
Which just goes to show really how big of a factor this weather is going to be in this game, isn't it? Fraser Tech utilising the wind here early on, putting some points on the board. As the ball sits with Jenkinson, he looks to feed the scrum, and again it's in a good position and it holds up nicely. He's going to go to his left hand side there, and it's a good little take.
And he just puts it onto the boot. He's happy to put it down into that corner. But it hasn't gone out, or maybe that's the plan. And Hautapu look to run it out. That's an exciting play here as they come wide. But he just uses that boot and kicks it out into safety, and it's a good kick as it ends with the win. Good pressure from Fraser Tech.
The pressure though, Cam, I've lost my words, Cam. And then patience shown by Hongara though.
Yes.
Oh, and that's a great take in the middle there. Luani, as they go to the left hand side, but that's a good tackle also equal to the task as they've driven back over the advantage. Ball sitting at the back now with Jenkinson. He waits. The referee was just having a little look into that as our forwards rumble up, but again it's a good tackle by number 6 from Hautapu. He's had a good game so far. As the hooker from Fraser Tech gets involved. And that's a great low run. Driving up as the player flies past him. Referee Michael Winter wants to come back for a penalty, and he's just pointing out one of the forwards there. And we're just waiting to hear what...
Off the ground is the call there. Just throwing the players from Hautapu. Leaving their feet.
So leaving their feet seems to be the call, and again Fraser Tech looking to add the extras here.
The thing is though, Cam, isn't it? It's a final to start with. You're playing with the win. You need those points on the board. Fraser Tech, to their credit, so far has 10.
I've been piercing those corners all day long here so far, and yeah, like you said, use the win while you've got it. I mean, when the halves change, obviously it's going to be a different story, so they'll be looking to hopefully get a healthy total here in the first half.
That's right. I mean, Jacobson won't be too disappointed. He'll be talking to his troops and he'll be saying, look, we're going to get the wind in the second half, guys, and we need to take advantage of that. So we've got to just play staunch defence, minimise those mistakes, and we'll just see how far we're behind at the break, and then we'll look to recapitalise and go back to those corners.
Just a stoppage, but an injury, maybe just a bit of strapping there on the leg.
What's that? One thing that's easy to notice out there in the Fraser Tech team in particular is the amount of people that are doing the work. There's a little bit of there's a few clean jerseys out there. You might be having a word to them saying, come on, we need to get a bit more involved.
I don't think we can play it, has it? I think they hauled him out of the time.
See Luani there just receiving a little bit of water to the eyes. He had a good run just before after that line out take, and he just got a mouthful of dirt, I think, Cam, and a little bit of mud in the eye. So he's just had a bit of a
It's all part of the fun, isn't it?
bit of magic water, and he's back with us now. We talked about the build-up, Bevin, about the difference perhaps Milne could make after having such a good season, but we've seen Christie from the start actually come out of the blocks and do everything right.
Yeah, but I think Milne's been doing the right thing too. Keeping his kicks low and just not allowing that wind to take hold of it. I mean, other than the restart there.
Yeah, it's going to be a good battle with the number 10s here today.
It looks like he's lumping off there.
I reckon he might have done a hammy.
Looks like he's going to charge through
Oh,
there.
that's interesting because he was the one that was having the bandage redone. And it just looks as though it's a little niggle of his hamstring maybe, or something's not quite supporting. You could see from that connection on the kick, it didn't look comfortable.
No, and the restart he just stabbed one off the mark as well there. So big finals rugby, you know, you want to be out there as long as he can. As the ball sits in the back with Jenkinson. He's run into his own player by the looks of things there.
Yeah, I think Cam, that was probably just a little bit of a miscommunication between the player under the ball and the player in front of him, don't you think?
That does happen, doesn't it?
So just keeping an eye on Christie out there. He doesn't look great, and the bench looks like they're on their feet. There's a little bit of concern around that. So finals footy, they'll be trying to keep him out there as long as
I
possible.
love the coverage going on down here, guys.
Tarpaulin down
The
there.
old tarpaulin, nothing wrong with it, eh? Especially you're going to be out there.
Probably wouldn't have
at the
been a bad
front.
idea for us. I suppose it makes a bit of a racket, doesn't it?
The ball at the back now. Hautapu had the ball here. So that's a good scrum from Fraser Tech as they look to turn it around. But Hautapu have somehow managed to secure the ball, and it sits with Natai now as he feeds off to his loose forward. McGowan over the ball, and Natai getting in close as he looks to give it to the big boys as they rumble up through the middle. And it looks like the lock had a good drive there. Malani with a good tackle, trying to roll away, but he's a bit stuck there again with the forwards. As Hautapu look to dominate Fraser Tech around the ruck and maul, driving them up to their halfway as they now move into the
Wet with the rugby at its finest here.
10-man rugby. Florence now with the ball as he's driven almost back to where he came from. And some big hits in there. You might be able to hear it on the mic. There's certainly no lack of contact. As again it sits at the back as Florence looks to support his man as he drives over the ball well. Natai talking to his forwards again, but the body position just wasn't quite right there, and Hautapu just struggling to make the advantage.
Got a man on it.
But they'll come up with a penalty, and it's a quick tap, and he's off. Natai runs. But they'll come back there, and Big Singh and Natai had a good collision there, and he looked to a penalty.
It's going against Peter Neely. They're not rolling away the number one from Fraser Tech.
Simple rugby there from Hautapu. He's working with them, keeping the ball close. Obviously brings the defenders in and eventually get a penalty out of it. It's smart rugby there to get into the other team's half.
So the Hautap line-out's been working well for them today, and they'll find themselves somewhere in between the halfway and the 22 of Fraser Tech territory. The back line now talking, and you can see the number 8 and another one of the forwards just hanging out in the back line there. I think it's McGowan. McGowan just creeps back into the line out though. Looks like he's going to be looking to hit the back there. But watch for the number 11 sneaking on the back, but it doesn't matter now as it's picked up nicely by Fraser Tech. Open side flanker. I think that's Nankova with the ball. And Jenkinson with the short one out. They're happy to use the forwards at the moment and rumble up, but they're actually making good progress here as they move all the way up to halfway. As Jenkinson looks to set the back line. And there's a little gap there as he goes through, but picked up nicely by the number 7 for Hautapu. It's a good tackle. And it looks like he's not going to play advantage. No, he's given the penalty. Just waiting to see what that's for. He might have come in from the side.
Yeah, I think I might have seen that signal as well, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like perhaps the number 12, and that will be Mahi, might have just come in from an illegal position.
Indication here, guys. Fraser Tech making an early sub. Number 20, I think, Shoston might be Tyrell Martin, top maybe? Yeah, number 20 for...
Yep, bang on there. So we have got a substitution, and it's a shame, but it looks like Christie might have done his dash here.
Yeah, Tyrell's just on the sideline there, can't come on due to the ball still being in play during a penalty.
You've got to feel for something. You're in the finals rugby, you're having a great game.
No one wants to be coming off this early, or
No.
do they?
No. But to be fair, Bev, you'll be able to, you'll know this one as well. That man there in the 22s, he came on the other 2 weeks ago, and actually made a hell of a difference.
Oh, he almost pulled it back for
really
Fraser
did.
Tech, you know. I have to say, you do love players like Tyrell Martin and Tom Florence, easy to spot as commentators. Kai Hungara, the number 15 for Hautapu is another one with his man bun. So
mental notes, yeah, he does make little mental notes.
As he looks to add the extras, and he just doesn't look like he's got the distance here. The strike wasn't so good, so. And they'll jot it down behind the line, and we'll see us back here on 22. Didn't quite have the distance, and we're still waiting to see if that change is going to be made. It looks like Christie's doing everything he can to stay on the field.
Well, it's going to be hard and flat, this kick, isn't it? Bunch height on it, it's going to keep back over your head.
No, we'll see what Milne's learn, and I think he needs to keep it low. But he still uses the height, and it goes up. Looks like there could be a small knock on there from Hautapu, but the ball will sit at the back with Fraser Tech as they look to come back with their forwards as they rumble it up. Again, the tackling's been strong with Jenkinson finding his number 2 as he looks to run up, is it? And that's a great little surge there by Fraser Tech. It's a little bit slow from the back, but they're still moving forward. Florence getting in and over the ball. And the referee just having a chat with him as they go to the left-hand side again through the centre, but Thomason, following his man, makes a good tackle near the touchline. And we'll have a small knock on, just as we say a little knock on, and we'll come for a scrum.
Holding quite well there for Fraser Tech, but I mean, it's something we're going to see all day, isn't it, guys? Can't really blame the players in these conditions. It's cold, it's wet, it's finals footy though, and you said it earlier, the team who makes the least mistakes.
I actually have to say I've been reasonably impressed with the handling. It'll be like soap out there for the boys, and the short ball seems to be sticking for the most part.
There's about 6 ball boys and girls out there, so Hautapu come prepared.
Give me a shout out to them, and it's great to see the supporters around helping out in all facets of the game. As the ball sits with Ngātai as he looks to feed the scrum now, and the scrum platform seems to be pretty solid as both teams putting in a good shove, and it's with Florence as he picks up and he feeds out, and they're just happy to come in back through their centres. All the ground, it sits in the back, and they go to the right hand side again using those forwards, just 1 and 2 off the ruck. It's good progress from Fraser Tech too as they defend well, and you can hear them and see them sorting out the defence line as Milne just gets a little bit lost there for a second and just kicks over the top, but again the wind deflection is difficult, but Nagable picks that up well. That's a great take. He's had a good game so far, and Fraser Tech just looking to run it up. Sorry, that was McGowan, I think it was McCurran, sorry. And that's another good run there as Nelly looks to drive it up. And it's a good tackle from Jeff Coates. So Fraser Tech just building up close to and that's a shame for Pongi. It's just on the end of the ball that came a little bit fast and a bit flat. In these conditions, a 50-50 ball, Beth.
Yeah, it's not good in the bread basket, you're not going to get it probably in these conditions.
It was at the shoulder, wasn't it? Pretty much. And, if you're Rich McCord, Dan Carter, or Terry Pommy, it's very difficult to catch in these conditions.
And so he's done the right thing, and he's moved that scrum just into a better position. So the field's just starting to cut up a little bit, and you actually can see there's a noticeable difference between the left-hand side of the field and the right-hand side of the field.
Making me move there, Nick.
Which actually tells us a little bit about where the game's been played. Ngātai again, and you can see the players just out to the left-hand side. But look for Florence perhaps to go to the right-hand side. He's a dynamic ball runner, and he's already linked up a couple of times with his back. So you just watch, and as we say that, that's where he goes. And it's a good run from Florence as he's picked up nicely by McCann. It's a good tackle from him. You can see him there for number 6 with the long hair. Milne just kicks behind Bunce, and it's an awkward bounce for Bunce as Bunce just takes it back and looks to use the trim lines. And that's a great kick from Bunce, and it just stays in. Balls with Ngātai as Bunce comes down on him, and we'll see Central look to take it, and he's just without support at the moment. It's a risky play, and he'll find himself in the 22 with the Hautapu forwards coming back, and Fraser Tech looking to punish them. Hautapu still holding the ball, slowing it down now, waiting for their reserves to get back in and support them. As it sits at the back, and Milne again with a nice kick, end over end, and clears it just outside the 22, but that's a great bit of play there from Bunce.
Both teams trying to give as much territory as they can. Obviously, weather conditions like we've mentioned all day making it very hard for Hautapu to keep in the other team's half. But what a kick there from the 22 there from Fraser Tech with the wind taking it.
Oh, and that's a good little throw in from Fraser Tech, and they're fortunate to keep the ball as they drive up to the 22, and it's sitting at the back now nicely as the forwards still look to pick and go, and there's obviously been a bit of a license there with some of those tight sides. Again, it's picked up there, and it looks like the Ruani, number 5, pick and go. And again, they go to the left-hand side, and they're just happy to drive and stay around the short side on the left hand. Jenkinson just talking to his forwards, organising them well today. He's had a good game at the back. As we see, he likes to go out to that left-hand side, and it's a little kick through, but he's equal to the task. Very well.
Josh Gascoigne underneath that, safe hands.
Yeah, the blindside winger just runs around. He's corner flagging, and it's some good work from him. And that's also a great kick. It's a good kick, and he clears it out nicely. We'll see a throw at the 22.
It's a pretty good kick for 10 metres.
Yep. As we see Sam Christie just coming across to the sideline, you may see the replacement. And number 20, Martin, just coming to the sideline, folks. So we look for that.
Would have been blood.
He's He's been heavily involved as that ball's taken in, and Fraser Tech just holding it now in the maul and not going anywhere. And the ref's just saying,
Come on!
and it's live now, so players coming up. And Fraser Tech using it well, just rumbling forward. Ball's off the ground, so they'll need to use it, but they do, and they go through Jenkinson down the short side, and it's a good little play as they make more ground. But again, Hautapu up to the defence. And we're right against the left-hand touchline here, deep inside Hautapu's territory. And Fraser Tech will be looking to come to the right as their back spread out now. And we can see Bunce out here to our right. But again, just picking and going through the forwards, which seems to be the way it's been played today. Seven minutes left in the half. Again, Fraser Tech just happy to drive forward, and they don't seem to be going anywhere at the moment. Ref just getting in behind them. They go to the short side again. It's a little pass, but it's one of those 50-50 balls, and it's just not the weather for this.
Offside. Hautapu penalised there on the blind. Think offside. Keeps making those. Spend a bit of time with the New Zealand 7 setup. See that Chris come off.
It's a sad sight for Fraser Tech. He's had a good 34 minutes though, and been pretty influential in the game.
If I'm not mistaken, guys, I think we got a water boy saying going on in the background here in the grandstand. Yeah, you can do it.
And it looks like Martin's on into a first receiver. You can spot him there. He's got the number 20 on his back, and he's got the taped up ears with the long hair. Easy to spot.
You know, when there's substitutions in this game, it's pretty easy to
very easy to tell.
I think probably number 20 and Gascoigne are the cleanest two men on the field at the moment. As Fraser Tech look to drive through the scrum as they come to the right, but he doesn't pass and he goes himself. And just outside of that Hautapu line now as the forwards are looking to go again to their left-hand side through a little bustling run. But Tafari tells us back now that they want it to come out here. As we see Martin moving into the first receiver spot. Closed down well by Hautapu. That's a good driving tackle. And Fraser Tech perhaps need to go a little bit wider than they are. Hautapu are certainly closing the channels around south.
A lot of players off their feet there.
And you can hear the crowd enjoying the defence, folks.
I think we got it.
And a good thing with Hautapu now, just waiting to see. It's a bit tough to see from here as the bodies around the ball. Judging by the shape of the backs, Fraser Tech, I'd say the ball's sitting with Hautapu. And now it's sitting at the back end here. Marta, as he talks to his forwards. Mills gets into the pocket. It's another good drive as Hautapu just seem to be moving sideways across the field. Again, looking just to give Milne a little bit more room and another bit more option. Trying to find a bit more of an angle for that kick, Cam. Doesn't seem to matter, the wind seems to be the winner again.
They can have a breather now after multiple occasions of the old pods going off the ruck there.
You know, right before Cam, there were people going all over the place. I was actually having trouble picking up with the ball.
There was a lot of players, there was almost like scrum collapsed in there,
Yeah. And I think it was fair that Michael Wood just said play on because it was basically off the ball and both teams were doing it.
Yes.
Fraser Tech to throw. And it's a good one. It's taken really well, number 4. As they look to hold it up and drive. Michael Winter having a good look. Perhaps he's said hold up, carry on. Again, Fraser Tech go to the right hand side through their forwards, and it's going to be a little bit like this with the pick and go. No effort Jenkinson to go then, and he's shut down, but he gets the shunt from behind. Martin yet to touch the ball. And he sits into the pocket. He'll be calling for it now. There's a few Tech boys outside him, especially Bunce out here on the tram line. And he gets the ball for the first time. And he'll probably want to forget that, folks. That's not a great first start.
Hautapu managing to defend well, putting pressure on Fraser Tech.
Probably a big win from them too. I was thinking penalties coming, Fraser Tech are going to take the 3 points, go into the break, 8-point up. You'd take that, to be honest, but Hautapu, massive play there on defence.
Well, both teams been fantastic on defence today, but I think Martin will be just a little bit disappointed with their first touch.
Warm those hands up, he's just fresh out there.
Yeah,
Warm those hands up.
I would have thought the play, looking at it, would have been a little kick into the corner with Bunt screaming onto it. As Bunt took off, the ball just popped behind Martin.
Guilty too, I think Martin just trying to play the ball before he even received it.
Yeah, you get excited, don't you?
Probably kicked it already before it even got to him. And it's a bit like catching the ball, isn't it? First you've got to see it, and then you've got to look at it, and you've got to get your hands there. Not much. And we'll reset there as Michael Windsor just happy to have a chat and walk through the middle of the front rows. And he's just going to move them over to somewhere perhaps a little bit more green.
Somewhere hopefully sideways this green, we can't go forward or back, so.
And Natai with the ball, and I'd say they'll be looking forward to going into the break. We've got about 1:30 to go. I think both engine rooms will be looking forward to getting in and having some oranges.
A hot cup of coffee, if it's available for them. Something to warm up the old engine.
And maybe some of the backs can warm their hands up. They get into the changes heads as Natai looks to feed. And it's a good scrum. Both teams managing to stay on their feet. And again, it's Florence who looks to go to the short side and link, but it shows you how clever it is out there. And Florence just drops the ball down. It's becoming a bit of a trend.
I think from memory, Cam, actually Florence did something very similar and put the ball to boot in that game 2 weeks ago. That might have even set up a try for Hautapu. I've got a funny feeling he might have tried to do that there. And
He's doing a fantastic job there, doesn't he, running off the ball there.
Let's give him the benefit of the doubt.
You'll say that was on purpose.
But unfortunately at the moment we're going to see Fraser Tech with 30 seconds to go, and they're going to feed the scrum here, so a little bit of pressure for Hautapu, and they're going to need to ease this for 30 seconds. Score currently 10-5 with Fraser Tech in front, and the last thing Hautapu will want here is it to be go to 17 or even 13. Jenkinson talks to the new first five, Martin, who'll be looking to make right the mistake from just before, and he gets an early chance. And it looks like a good platform as Michael Windsor says we'll have another scrum here, boys.
Fraser Tech have got Lansdowne and Coombs Fabling out to the left-hand side of the scrum.
And we'll see Jenkinson again with the ball as Bunce moves closer to the touchline here. Tafari's sitting quite flat here, so look for Martin to put it onto the foot, and we'll watch the mad scramble as the half closes. And Martin getting low, and again it's a little bit scrappy, and best laid plans turn into a little bit of a scrappy situation. And it's good defence on Fraser Tech, and they'll find themselves inside Hautapu's 22 now.
Big penalty there. Dodged the bullet.
Well, just like before, Hautapu out of trouble again with a penalty, and we'll watch the boys coming to the sheds now at half time. Fraser Tech leading, 10 points to 5.
Cam Gunnan's oranges here. What do Fraser Tech need to do in the second half?
Well, you'd think this is the time here, Kobe Bill, like I mentioned, experienced kicker, he's going to be piercing those corners, should I say, for the next 40 minutes, so they'll be looking to make sure that the defence is going to have to be on form. Make sure they've got the wingers back there to mark those big kicks, because it's going to be coming. That wind is still out there, very, very strong. We've seen Fraser Tech all that half, and using the wind, piercing the corners, using the forwards obviously, but keeping the ball nice and close, but it's going to be a whole different ball game now, switching sides. It's funny enough, you can very clearly see between the two fields which one played the most footy in so far.
And Nick, for Fraser Tech, I mean, they're playing against that wind. They've only got a 5-point margin going into this half.
Yeah,
what
well,
are they going to do? What does Tika need to say to his players?
Yeah, well, I think Tika Smith won't be that happy with the Tech boys. I mean, you're going in with a 5-point lead, but I think the conditions would have wanted you to have more of a 15 to 20-point lead and let them help down with a few opportunities. And so I think Fraser Tech are going to have to do a lot of work here. It's not going to be about trying to protect those 5 points. They're going to have to try and score tries.
All right, guys, that's Oranges here at Memorial Park, Cambridge, 2021 Waikato Breweries Shield Final. Again, apologies for the technical issues we had at the start. Someone forgot to plug the camera back in. Won't name names. Join us back very shortly. We'll have the second half. It is Fraser Tech leading 10 against the home side, Hautapu 5. Welcome back, folks. It is the second half. 10-5, Nick with the spread up. It could be anyone's game.
Certainly could be, and like I said just before we went to the break, I think Hautapu won't be too disappointed with the score, and certainly with the win behind them, I think 5-point deficit is something you'll be easily looking to draw back. It's only one try, and I think with the integrated boots of Natai and Milne, Fraser Tech will be in for some a lot of work in the 22 camp.
It's going to be a lot of work, you're exactly right. they'll be piercing those corners. They'll be looking to get those lineouts, those 5 metre lineouts, and use that more, which they, their 5 points in the ball was from a Maul earlier in the game. So they continue, like you say, he's going to corner after corner after corner. I'm predicting a kid's going to be kicking the corner nearly every time he's got the ball in hand.
And it's very noticeable now on your screens, folks, as the field starts to tear up on the right-hand side, and the left-hand side of the field looks exactly the same as when we started. It's a stabbing little kick into the corner there as Mill starts us off, and it's a good run back, and McCurran looks like to drive forward. You can see the long wavy here. He's unmistakable. And again, there's some good defence there from both teams. As it looks to run up and goes to his right-hand side. As the crowd just settles in now, as we all wait for the first few moments here. Florence just went down in the back of the screen there, so it did take a while to get up, as we'll keep an eye on him. But the ball now with Tufali as he looks to run up in the middle. It's a good run from him, but he's taking the ground. And the ball sits in the back now, and they pass it out again. And Fraser Tech just happy to rumble it up, and this will be the way it'll go for a while out of their half. Martin with another touch, but you can see the ball's a bit slippery there. It's gone back, and Tech just looking to tiny
Throw it back into his own 22 there.
Good defence there, folks, as it sits with Martin as he feeds out, but he's on his own. He's had to use the boot. And for the first time we see it in the Hautapu half there. Into the knock on, but the ref says play on. And we've just got a bit of a scrag out there as we see Hautapu into Fraser Tech's half. To the back there, it's a low pass, but it's been picked up well, and Mill just stabs it in behind. And Martin again just struggling to hold on to the ball as he fires it out to his left-hand side. And they go wide with they're just struggling with the numbers, and we'll see it kick deep down into Thompson, and he's in a good position as he looks to run it out. And he's just run away from the support now as they just come in and wrap around him. Fraser Tech player told to get out of the way there as Milne looks to feed Florence. Puts his head down as we see him do so regularly. And we'll see the game just steady back to halfway now as Milne looks to put it onto the boot and drive it to the corner. And it's a nice little kick, and he just slows it down and he says, we'll have a little break here as a line-out form. Well, a bit of phonetic there, Cam, as we second half starts, and some solid defence there as you can hear the crowd getting behind the tackles.
Yeah, also a couple of kicks there for Fraser Tech actually crossing the halfway mark there, so they're actually managing to get it out of their own half. But obviously, Hautapu will be piercing those corners.
And that's a great take as Moon comes into the halfback position. And a little bit of a change around there. Hautapu with the ball now as they look to drive into the Fraser Tech half, going to the left-hand side. Morris, who's been pretty busy in the tackle. Nice little offload. Game is Hautapu set, and they're in a good position. They can go left and right. Looks to move through the field as Florence looks to follow up. He's to the defence though, Fraser Tech now. Both teams just sort of evening out here as the forwards weigh each other up. Hautapu looking to come to the right hand side again, just happy to use the men, one and two off the ruck. You can hear the communication as the Fraser Tech players and the ball sitting at the back now with Nartai. Yeah, he's got support. You see number 14 for Hautapu coming into the forward pack there as the backs trying to lend a bit of support. They're just not going anywhere at the moment. And it's just a little bit scrappy here as Hautapu look to use the forwards. Again they drive in the middle. Here and he's just appealed, but referee Winter looks like it's held up and just like he's upping. And he's getting deep in the middle of the forwards there.
Look like if anyone's cool there.
Yeah, pick and go after pick and go.
There's bodies all over their face in there, isn't there, Cam?
Dirty, yeah, very dirty bodies as well.
Well, whatever Michael Winter comes up with, we'll just have to go with that, and it's going to bring us back for what looks like a scrum.
Come up August 1st, though, in international rugby, that'll be a goal line dropout. So it'll be interesting to see that law change and how long it lasts. So.
Yeah. As we see Ollie Norris come on for Hautapu, there's a bit of a round of applause here. Number 18, and he's had some higher honours this year.
Yeah, he's played for played on the Chiefs squad all season, as well as being picked for his first debut for Māori All Blacks.
And there's a big round of applause for the Hautapu player comes up. He's had a big game. But we see Norris move right into the engine room here.
Getting his own little shower there.
Yeah, I just see that you can't see much, can he?
He's only a prop, he doesn't need to see much as long as he knows which way the try line is.
You see the ball now sitting at the back with Ngātai, and he feeds it well. A new addition to the front row, but it just goes down. There's a lot of scrums in that position today, so the front row are going to have to clean those spikes up.
Cam, I mean, this is, what we see here with the mud. Down this end of the field, it's a lot different, isn't it, to the lush green stuff on the left-hand side.
It's definitely a big difference, yes.
So Hautapu here, looking to use the backs, spread themselves out to the left-hand side of the field. Ball sits with Ngātai now as he looks to feed the scrum. And the scrum stayed on its feet now. It's a good scrum. It's Hautapu. They'll look to use it quickly as Florence picks up the back again as he has been. And that's a good drive from him. And it's a good shot. And it's into a bit of no man's land as Milne picks it up. And there's no support for him as Fraser Tech comes driving through, but the Hautapu manages to get back. And it looks like they've secured the ball. The players sitting into the back as they pump it deep back into Fraser Tech's territory. That's been picked up beautifully off the back by Lansdowne, and looks to run it out. And stabs a kick beautifully through the Fraser Tech player in the row there, guys. And Michael Winter's happy to play on though. It's probably the right decision. And right back into the ball line, so we'll come back and we'll see a scrum set, and you can see some of the Fraser Tech players backing away, linking the Hautapu player, bringing them all the way back to the scrum.
Yeah, but did you see what happened there with Hongara and the Fraser Tech player? I mean, the Fraser Tech player, I think, was trying to retreat, but I didn't see.
It was almost like, what do you can't get called for an offside of this, it's just can you?
He probably could have done referee's discretion, but get down the camera, and it's a little bit hard to, see outside.
The jerseys are pretty hard to tell the difference apart.
I think after the game he might say it was a planned move and it's brought them all the way back here for the scrum, but I think we know otherwise.
Well, in the end, there was no effect made against Hautapu so much, accidental or otherwise.
So Jenkinson now, Fraser Tech with a scrum for the first time in Hautapu's territory for the second half, and in a good position. And they'll be looking to use it as they go to the short side, and Jenkinson looks to put it onto the boot, and he just nibbles at him behind Gascoigne, and the chasers come through, but he's done a good job. He's got to his feet and managed to get his support with him. Fraser Tech comes through, putting good pressure on Hautapu, but Hautapu equal to the task now as they just look to set it 2 out. Take the hit. And we'll have a penalty to Fraser Tech. And a hand in there perhaps.
Oh, hands in the right.
Yeah, a loose hand in there, so Fraser Tech will take these points, and I'll tell you what, Cam, the first time they've gone inside the half, they've managed to get some points, they'll be happy with this.
Yeah, well, like we mentioned, obviously with the weather conditions, thinking that Hautapu we spend a lot of time in their own half, but I mean here Fraser Tech are actually doing a good job of getting into the opposition's territory, and yeah, first time in 22 and they managed to concede a penalty, so they were looking to get another 3 points on the board.
I love this idea by Martin. He's actually taking the ball about 10 metres out from the posts. And because it's a penalty, they can't charge. And Hautapu have got to go back to the goal line. So, not a bad option, just to negate that wind.
Tough kick. He's nearly kicking one to the wind, isn't he?
Well, this could be important for Martin. He had a bit of a shaky start when he came on, but I think to nudge 3 points and get them up to 13 would give him all the confidence going into this next period. As he looks up at the post and we'll watch his little pre-drill here. Seems pretty simple. He's a little bit of a Johnny Wilkinson type pose and stabs it through very softly. And we've seen this lower go to 13 points to 5 now, and there's an 8-point game.
Just a reminder, folks, the time that you see on the screen is not the referee's time. It is just an estimated time. We're always in the hands of the referee. If we go to, if we're all locked up after 80 minutes, it is 10 minutes each way, and then to the team that scored first. So,
Come on, boys.
Boundaries.
not boundaries. No, that was 2 years ago. This week, we won't go back there.
Sorry folks, I had to put that in there as we have a little kick-off here as he stabs it deep into the Fraser Tech, but it's picked up beautifully here and he runs it up. He's had good running today. He's easily distinguishable. McCurran there with the long hair, number 6 for Fraser Tech. And they fire it out to the open side. There's a little short pass, but Fraser Tech support just couldn't link up, and Hautapu were equal. Just waiting for it as it dribbles back, but some illegal play in there, and the big boys get involved, and but he said, I don't want to get involved, so he just walks up there and a little bit of...
Finals rugby, emotions are high.
Yeah, somebody's invited somebody back to the barbecue after the game, and he said, look, I'm actually going to a different barbecue, and so everything's fine.
Don't have comms today, guys, just due to the weather. Weather and technology doesn't mix very well. Tackler not releasing this call there though, and I think well done to Michael once he realised just a little bit of niggle. Ace has taken 50 minutes almost in this game for it to happen. Good discipline, Cam, I would say, is probably what's prevented that.
And that's...
Every point counts here, don't want to be giving up silly.
Both teams will put that behind them now as we see the line out form on halfway. Fraser Tech to throw again with the ball. And just starting to get their act together and starting to look quite dominant. As we'll get a good look here. Number 2 throws in. He's an early jump by Florence, and it's been taken nicely at the front by Tech as they look to go to the open side. But he's just had to stop to pick it up now as Pongy loses it. And again, looks like it's that man Florence getting involved, although the white red here just starting to get a little bit darker with the mud in there, so he's not as easily as distinguishable as he was at the start. And we're back at halfway where a lot of the game's been played. It's been an even battle, Cam. Both teams really getting stuck into this afternoon.
We have spent a lot of time in the last 5 minutes around that halfway mark as well, so but Hautapu again, probably not kicking as much as they probably would like to, but we're not having enough possession as they'd like as well here. So obviously they'll be wanting to get back into the Obsessors 22 and get some more points on the board.
So interestingly here, I'm just looking and it looks like Marvai's come right out to the touchline here. And you can see Marvai just having a little chat in behind the ball as halfbacks like to do. So look for Marvai to be set free out here on the right hand side. I'm expecting a little kick here. And we'll see the chasers, Thompson and Marvai come flying through, but again Florence has been charged with the ball. He's picked it up nicely as Natai goes out to the left hand side to Gascoigne, who beats the first and chips in, but it's been picked up beautifully by his opposite number, and runs equal to the task as he late tackle just lodges the ball, and we'll see a knock on as the ref plays on, and Hautapu just come back through the centre of the field. There's a lot of mud through that middle, but it's a little bit slippery there as Hautapu come out to the right hand side, and they just look to hold the ball up for now. Again, Natai in the thick of things, and that's a good run from Hautapu. Heavily involved in the front row this afternoon. Natai gets into the back and slides it out again with Mo. He's just happy to I'd say that's advantage over as Fraser Tech just chip over the top, and Gascoigne just finds himself in an awkward position there, and it's been pushed back, and it's just a bit scrappy now as referee Michael Winter says play on. And again, the ball at the back. And it's a scrappy one there with one of the forwards playing half-back. And there's a chip in behind. Hands down, just happy to chip out. And there's been a bit of a late tackle off the ball. We'll see what the ref says. And no one's managed to get that one there. And there's a penalty where the ball bounced. And I think that could be for the late hit as we wait to hear.
Player diving on the player on the ground. You know, the player's entitled to be able to get up with the ball without a player diving on you. It's a safety thing.
Our referee just having a little bit of a chat to one of the Hautapu locks, just telling him just to go back and as we see him here just talking now. And
probably just to both captains there and just telling them, you know, none of the silly stuff, guys. It might be a final, but it doesn't need to say.
Well, it was very clean first half, and I'm not talking about the weather. But in the second half now, we've just had a couple of little bust-ups now, so the ref's doing the right thing, and Michael Winter just says, look guys, we've had a great game up until now, let's not make me reach into the pocket, as Martin will look to clear the ball.
Right to that bite though, isn't he?
It is, it's really tough.
He's got a deft little kicking style, he's just got the little soccer type finish.
How about this crowd that grandstand though? This is, you know, I mean, it's wet. Jeez. What a noise everyone's making.
Yes, they're very vocal, and a couple of people come through us here in the last few minutes as Fraser take a look to feed the line out, and they're in a good position again. As they go to the front, but Florence gets in there, looks to be disruptive, he's had a big game, Florence, you know he's out there, he's ever present.
It's been knocked through from Hautapu.
And we find ourselves in some of the better field area here. There's some nice green pastures. And the fawns will be looking to setting in this stuff here.
The farmers, I think he's already getting marching on his cows and getting ready to put them out there.
Yeah.
Get some grass into them.
So, welcome to all those people out there on Facebook. And you'll be sitting in front of your fires watching this at home in the comfort.
Lucky for some, they say. Lucky for some.
Think of us, we're in the wind out here and the weather as Fraser Tech look to feed the scrum. They're in a good position here at the back with Jenkinson. As we watch the winger come across as he sneaks in, and we're looking for Marlin to give that inside ball, but it's a good tackle and Connie runs in and he's just done himself a little forward pass perhaps.
Yeah, Michael Winter's right on line with that. Doesn't look a little bit dubious because the way he is refereed these days, it's forward out of the hands. It doesn't matter if it floats forward, it's how it comes out of the hands.
Yeah, Fraser Tech will be disappointed. That was one of their first attacking opportunities here in the second half. Themselves in a good position. Unfortunately, just a little mistake like that can be quite costly, especially, you know, you can see now Kobe Milne's going to pierce that corner.
Well, looks like number
21 for Hautapu is warming up down here on the sideline.
So Natai's had a good game, but it looks like the halfback's just warming up here for Hautapu. With 25 minutes to go in the game, they could be looking for an early change, just perhaps change the direction at the bottom. And there's just a bit of a hush now as we wait for a couple of the players to get their boots together and clean their sprigs.
Just a reminder, guys, 100 years of Good Shield. Finals wrap up tomorrow. We'll be bringing all the action from Field 1. At this stage, it'll be 3 and 4, 1 and 2. That could change again. They may only have the final out here. Out of my control. The final is at 1 o'clock. If you are wanting to tune in, please do. Like Bev's Broadcasting Facebook page to keep up to date when I know I'll post it.
So Natai to feed the scrum now as Hautapu just sit somewhere in the middle of their 22. Milne talking to his halfback as they look to fire it out. And he kicks to the centre of the field, which seems to be a deliberate ploy. And there's a good bounce.
Slide on the ground.
It's a tough one for Bunce as he just lets it go to his caught up. And there's a midfield bomb, and it's a little bit messy as all the players let it bounce. And we'll see a line out perhaps right on the touchline in front of the grandstand where you can really hear the fans getting behind as we look to ring the changes now, and it looks like we'll see 16 Anton Moon and number 21 changes, so changes to the halfback and changes to hooker as Hautapu boys get a good round of applause here as he throws into the line out, and it's very good for Fraser Tigers. They take it off the top and Martin flicks it out, but again, Hautapu.
Florence with a strong tackle.
Great tackle there by Florence, and the new man who's just come on, Milne. But the ball still sits at the back, and as he has all day, Jenkinson's good at controlling his players at the back. Game with Jenkinson as he looks to use his forwards, but there's a little knock on, and it sits with Hautapu. Hautapu looking to go through Florence, but it's a double knock on, and we'll come back now. There wasn't a lot of advantage, but we'll see what Winter decides to play.
I think that forward there was just singing his praises and singing everything he can that he had the advantage of that first knock on from Fraser.
Yeah. So it looks like Winter said, look, we'll come back for the first one there, and there's change here at halfback, I believe.
Folks, there won't be any photos today due to the fact that I am behind the camera, and that was the reason why I made a little mistake earlier. There will be a highlights package that will go up during the week though from the final from what we had filmed, so do stay tuned if you want to have a look at the highlights from today.
So James to feed now, and again Matavai right out against this right hand touch line, and perhaps we'll see Moon look to find the corner towards the scoreboard as we wait for the ball to come back now, and it's with James as he's just wrapped up by his opposite number, and it's a bit scrappy. Good work from Jenkinson in there, just being a bit disruptive. Ball sitting at the back now, and it looks like one of the forwards will have to play halfback as they rumble up again to the open side. Again, just happy to drive one off the ruck as it fires out there, and Milne with his boot, and it just seems to have come off a player, and yep, and it looks like Hautapu will get the throw to the line out, so it's just come off a Fraser Tech player.
It's going to be a crucial moment for Anton Milne's cam. First moment of the game where he's going to throw the ball in and try and judge that one.
Yeah.
So Hautapu will look to find Florence as they have, but it's a bit scrappy, and it's at the back with Fraser Tech, and he's a bit of a speculator on Martin, but it's going on the play. And he's bounced them off, and it's been a good run from Pomeroy.
Good boy!
You can hear the crowd loving the hits in the background, and again the throw just wasn't quite there.
Come on!
Big hits there.
Some good into passing, and it's a good ball and all tackle. And Michael Winter was saying we'll come for a scrum here, and there's a knock on.
Lock on that tackle there, I tell you.
Fantastic defence today, Bev.
Yeah, the highlights package just gave me hacks for some interesting reading.
Bit of wackety
Yeah, some wacky news. Haven't heard that one all day. I think my jaw's a bit frozen.
Yeah.
Fraser Tech, from my understanding, they've had a lot of possession here in the second half. You know, we would have assumed that Hautapu would have spent a lot of time there. And the opposite's just 22, but that just hasn't been the case. Fraser Tech doing a good job keeping hold of the ball. We see both teams handling mistakes here and there, which is not surprising in these conditions. It's a little stoppage of time here. Ref's just having a chat to his assistant ref.
The cool kids on the far side, guys, looking ever so calm over there. pretty casual. I've got a funny feeling, guys, we might have seen a yellow card there. I've got no idea what's going on.
Well, folks, there's definitely something going on. Michael Winter's over that far side, and he's been having a chat. In the meantime, we have had a change in the Fraser Tech forwards, and it looks like number 4 Sinks comes to the field.
Bit of stoppage for an injury, but yeah.
He's having a chat to his assistant ref, yeah.
And it wasn't the greatest throw into the line out there, as it just came on the other side. It's just a bit scrappy at the moment.
Knock on.
And Michael Winter will bring us back for a knock on, but Anton Milne's throw just a little bit scrappy, and Fraser Tech managing to pick it up. And we'll see a change in the Fraser Tech, and it looks like number 18, Tufali's coming on, and wait to see whose replacement is. And exactly 20 minutes gone in the second half.
No points added to the second half yet at all from either side. Oh, sorry, there was 3. Yes, my bad. I was trying to reassess that in my head.
That was your doing. Yeah, because both Nick and I were quick on that.
So Fraser Tech will be looking to get out of their 22. They've been reasonably successful at doing this with Jenkinson with the ball, and you can really hear the supporters getting behind in the background.
What?
And he feeds the scrum now. And it looks like a pretty good scrum. Not a lot of pushing going on in there. As they go to the right hand side, it's the short side as they drive up, and it looks like it's gone out on the full. And we'll have CLI now from just outside of the 22, Hautapu's throw.
Maybe just a little bit rushed there from Lansdowne, trying to get that kick, trying to get the ball out of his own territory.
Known with another throw, and he makes good with this one as the Hautapu look to come to the right hand side, and through Florence, it's a good run. He knocks the first one out of the way. Again, they come to the right hand side. And it's a little bit scrappy, but Hautapu has broken the first one. It's good momentum here for Hautapu. And again, it's that long pass that's let them down. These are not the conditions for those. And it's trailing 13 points to 5. The coach won't be happy with that. He would have been talking to them at half time.
They had a low momentum going there, good wrapping there from the forwards. Spun the ball wide. These conditions obviously is how's this going to be when trying to catch the ball.
Yeah, but it's now that you need to really catch that ball, though.
Yes,
You need
do or die, isn't it? Do or die at this stage.
I mean, you can't, for Hautapu, you can't win the game without the ball in the hand. Fraser Tech, they don't want to give the ball to Hautapu.
Okay, we'll just see a break here, and it could be clearing a few eyes. There's a few muddy faces out there. And I can guarantee you, if it looks muddy at home, folks, I can tell you it's twice as bad when you're on the field.
The old big day today, isn't it? Out there.
Surely be a few broken umbrellas out there as well.
Oh, we saw one.
Yeah, we saw one.
I think it was the best person in the grandstand almost.
So Jenkinson with the ball, and Fraser Tech again hard on defence in their own 22. They're tucked in nicely here against the left-hand touchline. Players spread out wide, and Hautapu looking to defend hard. Martavai just in the pocket here. And that's a good little run as he beats the first defender. Always hit hard just outside the 22. Ball comes back nicely as we see the new man, number 18, Tuafuhi, make a good run. And the ball sits at the back with Martin as he shows and goes. Little intercept there. Hautapu with the ball again in good position. And now they're looking to capitalise on this as they set.
Fantastic covering defence there.
That's just what Hautapu needed, and there's a bit of luck there. I thought when he first kicked out across that he might have just not been quite with the distance on it, but Martavai did all the right things, and it was a good step inside to get the try.
Yeah, he had a few to make. It wasn't easy. He could pick the ball up. It wasn't easy. He looked like he could have gone for the corner. Size little shimmy inside, and managed to beat a couple and get in there. That's a big try. Hautapu definitely
only
needed that one.
people that didn't know the player was down that way, other than myself because I'm down the camera, was Fraser Tech.
Yes,
They
he was left
were
alone.
never aware.
Yeah.
No, those things crucial in a final.
And they'd tried that just a few times, but it just hadn't come to fruition. But Mahwai noticed earlier that he had just been hanging out on this right-hand side and waiting for the kick, and that time it just managed to be the right one for him. As we see Milne look to add the extras now, and this could make it a 1-point ball game. It's going to be a difficult kick. He'll be looking to hit hard against that left hand upright.
Guys, where's the money on? I'm putting extra time here. We're going with extra time.
Still 15, 16 minutes to go here. Anyone's ball game at this stage. Tensions are high. This ball sits there with Martin now.
Well, Fraser are ringing the changes now. We've seen a few replacements come on as Martin looks to get us underway again, and it's a lovely little kick that finds number 4, and it's a good run here from Thompson as he looks to take on the Fraser forwards. Again with Milne, who makes sure of it and puts a great kick in, but it's a lovely take by Bunce, who just tidies it up and brings it back out. And I've gone for the midfield bomb. Milne underneath it, but no, it looks like it's going to get picked up by Gascoigne. He's reached the first one, reached 2, and he's just managed to get himself over to the halfway as the ball shuffled to the left-hand side, but again it's a slippery bar of soap. Hautapu again to steady it. They're right up against the touchline on halfway. As again the forwards just drive over halfway. That's a good little run there, leaving the defenders behind him. Mike Winter just going a few places in the wrong place, and he decides to go with the penalty.
Not rolling away is the call.
Yeah. He's good communication today from Mike Winter, Cam. He lets the players know before he pings them, but again he just didn't get away in time. And Milne makes sure of it, and he's had a good game. He's just steering his team around at the moment. It's Hautapu just work back into the game.
Do you think you can line out more here? Nick, are they a bit too far out for a wall here, or
Well,
is keeping the ball nice and tight probably is worth a go? It seems like a little while since we've seen them try and do one.
again, Marvai has just crept out to this right-hand touchline again. So I think if you're Hautapu, you're just going to look to secure that ball at the back. Perhaps have Florence run up once. Milne can kick to this corner, and we'll just see what happens against this scoreboard. Changes now again as Hapu look to put some fresh legs out there.
I don't know.
Number 22, Tupou. And Florence with a good tackle as Fraser Tech look to come out of their own half. And again, Fraser Tech just happy to drive forward. Just not going anywhere at the moment, but still securing the ball. They're in front at the moment, so they'll be looking to hold on to position. Again, some good tackling there as they look to get rid of that ball, and it's not a bad nudge. But again, the wind's just dragging it back a little bit, and this will give Hautapu an attacking opportunity again. And they'll be inside the Fraser Tech half.
It's critical time now, under 15 minutes to go. Every point counts, every play counts. Ball needs to go to hand. Little errors, very little errors.
And we'll just wait for the Fraser Tech team to make another change. Looks like number 22. 20.
Fraser Tech coming on.
Number 20 for Fraser Tech coming on. Yeah, Fraser Tech's already got a 20, but it could be the jersey size.
That's actually That's another come. Because sorry, I'm after doing 20.
Yes, that's great. I think it might have been. We're getting back to the game, and it's a little bit scrappy off the line out now, but it'll sit with Hautapu as they go to the back, and again they look to use their forwards to rumble forward, and as a little pod comes, but Fraser Tech again been good on defence, and it's the pick and go, which is what we've seen all day long. Sitting at the bottom now as James looks to go one wider, and they flick it out, and Thompson has the ball. He has another one, and he flicks it from the right of the exciting here, folks. A lot of people off their feet.
Wasn't much in that ball staying in play, and that could have been anyone's.
It's the right option, and I think we're going to see a bit more of this from Hautapu.
There's motion going on, not too exactly sure what's...
Well, there's just a little bit of confusion about where the scrum will take place. One of the players is saying it's gone out dead on the behind. But Michael Winter says, look guys, we're going to have him here, and he's in control of the match, so...
Might have been inside the Fraser Tech there. Might have been a few more metres our way, but Ben Brownlee and... Oh, sorry, Tim Baker and Michael Winter has that covered, so go with what they say.
And number 6, Morris from Hautapu just left the field. He's had a big game on defence out there. It was pretty hard to spot. He got money pretty early on, but I think if you've got to look at the highlight reels, he's made a lot of good tackles today. They'll be proud of his effort.
Only 2 clean jerseys out there at the moment. well, you can take that as a win, actually.
And that'll be the ref and the centre for Hautapu. As Jenkinson looks to feed. Did a good game, number 9 for Fraser Tech. And the number 6 pick up off the back again, and McCurran with the long hair. Drives forward, game with Jenkinson looking to use the locks. Hautapu equal to the tackle though. Protectors looking to muscle out, just getting to their 10-metre line. Michael Winter says not rolling away, and it takes a lot of pressure off Tech as they ease back up the field.
It's a tough kick here in the middle of the field.
Well, he's only 3 in front, and still a lot of pressure on both teams here as the ball sits in the middle, and it looks like
As long as this finds touch, he'll be happy, I bet.
Lounge down, kicking towards us in the grandstand, and it's a good
Good
kick.
on it.
Great kick.
I had a funny feeling that's his mind. That sounded just a little bit bigger boot than what Martin does.
Yep. And we'll see a line out right in front of us here. Very good.
Come on, boys! Come on, Howard! Come on, Holly! Tom!
So Pene to throw, and it's been pretty scrappy in the line outs today as he's got a nice clean ball. And Florence making a bit of a nuisance of himself in the middle there as Fraser Tech get the ball back and...
Great kick for the ball.
But even saying that, there's a balk there, so again, Hautapu off the hook and Moon will look to clear, and Fraser Tech will be disappointed with that. And he's gone for the bomb.
Push up!
Covering there for Fraser Tech.
And it's a bit scrappy, but Fraser Tech will somehow manage to get the ball back. And they'll start the process again of coming back out of their territory. And we might see them just run off the ruck here again as they look to eat up time. And we're well under the 9-minute mark now, folks. There's Fraser Tech. Only 3 points in front, will look to drive it out of their territory, and they've done well so in the last 10 minutes just to hold the ball and drive it out again. As they just managed to get it out of their 22. There's an appeal there. Hautapu will get the penalty.
It's a very big penalty. About 8 minutes to go in the second half. Penalty on their own 22. It's a big decision.
Personally, to me, Cam, you've got to take the 3 here.
No, the ball does walk so well. Quick tap.
Well, he's proven us wrong, and Florence will take the quick one. He'll take it with the right decision as the ball flies over. Hautapu with the ball. A couple of players making a nuisance of themselves there, but Winter tells him to get out of it. He almost trips over himself.
Come on, that's it!
Milne out to the right hand side as James moves and throws
Come
around.
on, that's it!
Number 22 there, looks like Tombo's getting close to the ruck. He's asking for it as well. Hautapu with the possession here, and they'll need to use this. They've turned down the 3. And Yes, you can hear a few of the people in the background getting excited now as Hautapu closer to Fraser Tech's line. It's another good pick and go, but again the body position is low by Fraser Tech.
Metre by metre. Metre by metre.
Florence getting stuck in there as James is sitting at the back waiting for the ball to come. Milne just out to the left-hand side. He's got Gascoigne outside him. And on the other side is Mahi. He's just waiting for the ball too. Winter's having a look. And he's given this ground so far to Hautapu. Looking like it's held up at the moment. And he's just in a good position as he's moved around to the other side. Winter's having a close look in there. Ball sitting at the back. And appealing for.
That's got a good spot there.
And Winter says, look folks, we'll come back here. It's been held up. And he's given the penalty. He's come back for something. Not rolling away seems to be the call. So Hautapu with another chance here to make it 13 apiece. And perhaps Florence will take that option this time. Well, I say Jenkinson. And looks like they're going to tap and go as he drives over. Again, Fraser Tech are equal as they go around the short side. Again, with some hands going up. This is good defense from Fraser Tech. Hautapu with all the pressure. Milne just sitting out to the right-hand side here. He's got players with him. Gascoigne all on his own out there to the left. As James just stands behind his troops here, marshalling them around. He's talking to the boys now as he flies them out. Florence and Milne. Gascoigne out there. And there's a good run.
Geez, what defence from Fraser here so far though.
And Michael Winter's got himself in a good position. Florence has been involved in everything, runs it back to the other side. It's been a great game. He's put his hand up for man of the match if they can win this. And all the work being done by Hautapu here at the moment with the ball. They've had the ball for possibly about 9 phases now, which has probably been the longest in the match. And Gascoigne and number 12, Mahi to sit out onto the sides of this Hautapu, so they'll be looking for a long one.
There's just been a bit of space out to the right there where that wing is sitting.
Mahi just sitting out here on the right hand side. James goes to the right hand side, but he just holds it back in and he's gone against the grain again. And Fraser Tech is equal to the task, and it's a good tackle. He needs to bring that ball back as he gets himself in an awkward position. And he drives over against the front right there. There's no way through. As Michael Winter getting close there, having a look. He's interested. Gascoigne all on his own out there. Just held up. You see the players in the background praying for it to go under, but they're going to need more than that.
Well, Fraser Tech.
I had no idea who that Fraser Tech player was, but he deserves the cold run no matter what the result is, because he got right in underneath that ball carrier cab.
Good play for
Fraser
Fraser Tech.
tackles.
And with only 3 minutes to go here, it's very exciting.
This is what you love as a neutral though, eh?
It's a 3-point ball game.
It might as well be all tied up, to be honest, Nick.
Yes. Well, it could be Bev, but Hautapu have been looking to get the try. They just want to finish this off in the full time.
We had an epic final 10 months ago in the 2020 Waikato Breweries Shield final. Exactly the same here, but
It's exciting, very exciting, isn't it? Everyone's on the edge of the edge of their seats.
Go sport, I say, go sport. Just a reminder, folks, the time you see on the screen is only an estimate. We're always in the hands of Michael Winter, the referee. And a reminder to the crowd that's the same with the scoreboard as well.
Well, I have to say we do have a cliffhanger, and whoever's written the script's got it bang on for this day. It's a wet and cold one out here in Hautapu, but you wouldn't think so. People on their feet really enjoying the game.
Even Spielberg couldn't have directed a better one.
I would have said George Lucas myself, but as we see, we've got James to feed the scrum, and again Hautapu hard on attack here. And Fraser Tech will be looking to put a solid shoulder on the next runner as James looks to feed the scrum. And it's a good scrum from Hautapu. They look to drive forward, but they're not going anywhere in a hurry. James picks it up.
Winter's got a good grin on his face, like you would have seen it on the camera. He had his hand out to Fraser Tech, and even I was questioning it. But then he's gone, yes, my mistake, folks. It's a reset of the scrum. Hautapu ball.
Well, I can tell you right now, number 20 Martin was excited, but Bevin and myself were a bit confused. But Michael Winter's got it right now, and we'll see Hautapu with the ball again. As James looks to feed the scrum. There's only a matter of seconds left on the ball now. And you can hear the songs in the background as the Hautapu singing.
The crowd is into it. Here we are, open scrum.
It might not be Wembley Stadium in a Euro final, folks, but I can tell you right now that the atmosphere is fizzing. It's 3 points in the game. And the ball goes in as James sits at the back, and he's going to look to find Milne. And it's Florence again. He picks it up, and he's going backwards. And Michael Wilson says to him, play on.
Almost lost it there, but managed to dive back on it.
Yes, Florence heavily involved in the game so far. As again, he joins that ruck. Milne just shuffling at the back. He's not too far away from James, as he has been in this last 20 minutes or so. Scoreboard running down. There's not more than 12 seconds to go. 3-point ball game.
Still Hautapu ball.
Very tired bodies out there.
I think it's tired bodies in the grandstand at home watching everywhere. This has been an epic final, folks, and thanks for staying tuned in. We will stay, I don't know, we're not too sure about the presentation just yet, but if it's happening at the grandstand in front of us, we will cover it. Once we have word, we will relay it.
And we could be watching the last set piece of the game, folks. The ball, Hautapu sitting with number 21 James at the back. Came on late in the second half to replace number 9 Natai, and he's been playing well. As you hear it there, last play. As Michael Winter has his arm out. Ball's with Hautapu now. Players out to the right hand side, Gascoigne and Marby.
A little bit mixed up there. Now we can celebrate.
Well, folks, it was a bit premature, but there we have him. Michael Winter signalled the end of the game. And we'll see Hautapu unlucky. Unfortunately, couldn't do the 3-peat. And Fraser Tech managed to get in front by 3 points. And it's their first Premier win since 2011. There'll be some happy boys in the blue and white today. And as you can see in the background there, some very happy scenes as the Fraser Tech supporters after a long season storm the field, and some good there boys with big raps and a few cuddles.
Well, I'm amazed, guys, that wonder that second half, it's still there. It just didn't play as much of an impact as it did in that first half for Fraser Tech.
I think Fraser Tech in that second half did contain a lot of